Hey there, it's meteorologist Jamie Singleton not showing up. So let me try this. There we go. I'm meteorologist Jamie Singleton with you here. It is, let's see, just shy of noon, 11:42 a.m. on Wednesday the 19th. We are looking at a potential winter weather event. Should we call it a storm? I don't know if I will until the weather service, if they jump on this as a storm, I will. But it's going to be, for many of you, impact-wise, it will be more like a winter storm by the time it's all said and done, by the time we get the system involved into our forecast here. Let me show you the pieces that are coming together. If you look out your window right now, you can see the overcast that's out there. You certainly get an idea of what's going on. We have a different kind of front. This is called an anafront. And normally when we talk about cold fronts, we talk about a cold front coming in, scooping up moisture ahead of it, and then the front clears and it clears out behind it. Well, the front moved through last night, but the clouds didn't. In fact, it was still raining earlier this morning, and the temperatures were still mild. This is the anafront that I'm talking about. Let me pause it here, and I'll zoom you in, show you what's going on. Your front is down here across the North-South Carolina border. Look at the high clouds, though. They are way up across Virginia. What's happening is basically this is no different than a warm front with overrunning moisture. It's the front down here, but instead of saying this is where the moisture is going to be, we've got this jet stream, which you see there on the satellite map, just blowing that moisture right up into our area, well away from the front itself. So it's almost a jet stream induced system as much as it is a frontal system, and really less a frontal system than other than the surface low, more jet dynamically driven from the jet stream. We've got that piece in place, so this will be the catalyst for the path of the storm, and then it will start to develop off the coast of North Carolina. I'll show you the computer model here in just a second. That's just in, and you can also see all this snow down here, out here from Denver. They've been getting a lot of snow this season in places that have been seeing a lot of snow. But this is the disturbance that's coming in from the west. And as I put that in motion again, this is moving off from west to east. At the same time, if you look up here to the north, we've got some rather cold temperatures up here where it's well below zero. Now, it's not that it's not going to get that cold, but it's getting colder. And in fact, if I put the mesofill on and put some of the temperatures up there, you can see that we've got the colder air coming in from the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest. This is going to be kind of methodically throughout the day today, very slowly making itself available. Not really moving into the area per se, but making itself more available so that when we do get our energy that you see out here in Colorado, and we do get that to involve a storm system that will also involve this jet stream in red, that's when things will all come together for snow. We think it's, I think it's going to be pretty much a morning start time for a good part of the area, and then we'll see it overspread the area. And I'm talking about a big part of the area I'm forecasting for today, so I hope my Mets and other areas don't get too upset with me here. But I am talking about many other areas, including North Carolina, in this forecast. This is the SREF mean snowfall, and I believe it's only a, let's see, I believe it's a 6-hour, it's a 12-hour mean snowfall, so it doesn't take into account overlapping images. But as each run has been coming in, I look at this and I don't look at it as gospel. In other words, yesterday I had the SREF up and we weren't even in my part of Virginia, we weren't even in this at all. And I told people then, I said, this is a trend. This is what you want to use this for is not gospel. You don't use it for even the numbers. You use it more for placement and placement trend. So if it's trending north, that tells me to expand my horizons north as well. That still includes North Carolina. But these are the averages of 12-hour snowfall. You can see the numbers keep going up. That's giving us more certainty. You can see some 4-inch amounts there, some 5-inch amounts there. Keep in mind, those are averages. So parts of North Carolina, some of these SREF plumes here are showing amounts over 4 or 5 inches. You can even see up against Roanoke and Lynchburg in our area, we're up now over an inch to 2 inch averages. Whereas yesterday, last night this time, that was only around Danville. So the field of possible accumulating snow is expanding if you look at the shrefs here. All right, so that is in our favor, and that's giving me more confidence in my forecast that I put out early this morning. Look what happens here as the storm begins to wind up along the coast. You see a bullseye there of 6 to 7 inches, and again, those are averages. There's going to be some higher amounts in there as well. Now, let me show you the actual Shref site here. It's going to be kind of hard to see, but we'll do our best here. This is the map here at the bottom. Just for instance, I'm going to click on Roanoke. And we're going to go with total snow. So this is a graph that shows you for right now, then 12Z would be right here. This is in the morning for Thursday. You see how each model begins to show you more snow. And then the bold line here is the average. So this is 2 inches, and then this is way up here. These two models are up against, the outliers right now showing 7 to 10 inches, but most of them for Roanoke right now are around anywhere between 0 and 3 inches. So the average is right around 2. All right, so that's for Roanoke, and again, these are just model guidance things I like to use basically. All right, if you look at Martinsville, you see a big spread to the north, and Martinsville's average is now over 3 inches on this Shref site. If you go to Danville, you're just shy of 4 inches now on this Shref site. Even Lynchburg and locations near the airport, they're just shy of 2 inches. Let's go down toward Raleigh-Durham, shall we? You can see your average near 5 inches, 4.5 to 5 inches. So this is going to be a heavy wet snow event for North Carolina. As you make your way up the I-95 corridor here, you can see amounts here near 5 to 6 inches. And then if you go eastern Carolina, even this area here, Elizabeth City here, up around 5 inches on the blend there. So that kind of gives you an idea of what's going on. Let me show you the computer model, and we'll kind of time this out because we got to get ready for a Cable 12 weather update coming in. But notice, and we'll watch this in motion. Let me move the box here so you can see it. Everyone can see about the same thing. This is the moisture coming in. I've got this starting at 7 a.m. Boom, right there. 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then this does not end until, we'll put the timestamp there. This doesn't end until the 7 to 10 p.m., maybe, even later than that for Martinsville and Danville. So it's a good 12-hour snow. It's not a quick hitter. It's a system that's going to start maybe as some rain, and especially the Carolina area, it may start as some rain. But as the system begins to take hold, we'll see some evaporative cooling. We'll also see some dynamic cooling, a lot of that, and a lot of the cold air advection just being the cold air brought into the system as it cranks up here along the coast. And you can see it getting going there. That's low pressure developing on the coast. Becomes a coastal system. By the time it becomes a coastal system, a lot of it's outside of the Roanoke, Lynchburg, Danville area. But I think Danville, in points to the south and east of Danville, South Hill, South Boston, it's still snowing according to this model at 10 o'clock at night. So you definitely have a good chance of seeing up to 4 to 6 inches, I think. Mecklenburg County, Halifax County, southern Pennsylvania County. Outside of that, it's looking more like maybe a couple of inches for Roanoke. And Rocky Mount right now, I've got about 2 inches, but maybe 2 to 4 for Rocky Mount and Franklin County, maybe 4 plus, depending on how this thing evolves. And lesser amounts as you get up to the north, but I still think a coating is certainly possible for all areas. But I think this will be one of the higher impact events that we've seen so far this year. And so my impact scale is going to be a little hard to see because it's 16 by 9. But this is for the area Roanoke, Lynchburg, Blacksburg, and south to the North Carolina state line. On a scale of 1 to 10, I've got us at a 4. Light snow develops Thursday around 9 a.m., continues through 7 p.m. The snow's going to turn moderate by early afternoon and evening. 2 inches plus of accumulation so far. That means some areas could see a lot more, especially near south side. Slick roads are possible with that. If you go to the south, look at the yellow area here that I've got. I'll put it right there. See right there, Eastern Carolina, North Carolina, that gets right up against Virgilina. And I've got underneath the Schreff model forecast, you can see those purples jumping out, an impact scale of 7. And that is, let me grab it there, okay. There we go. That is for rain this maybe starting as rain there, but changing over the snow by noon in the west to mid-afternoon in the eastern areas, turning moderate to heavy at times. Yeah, some heavy wet snow. Slick roads Thursday evening, 4 to 6 inches plus in areas that really don't, see a whole lot of snow. Sagging trees, isolated power outages because it'll be a very wet, clumpy snow. And that snow will even linger into your Friday morning if you are watching me in North Carolina, especially the eastern parts of North Carolina there. So that is a look at what I expect. I've got another update coming up on Cable 12, but this will be a significant system. It'll be significant enough for our area in Virginia to measure this, I think, by a couple of inches at least, maybe several inches. And in North Carolina, we could be measuring up to half a foot of snow, even more than that in some places between Danville, South Hill, Tarboro, Raleigh, and Greenville, North Carolina, where some sleet could mix in. That usually happens too, so we got to watch that southern edge right there for some sleet mixing in. So that's the way it looks for right now. I'll have more updates later on tonight especially, and then of course once the event gets going for the day on Thursday. But prepare for some snow. We finally got it. I'm hoping it happens. Everything looks good so far. If you're in Franklin County and you want to catch another update, we'll have it on Cable 12 in a few more minutes.